In the top stories, airport pay row over to the Labour Minister. Government may assist mother of 6 facing eviction. And Weymouth Wales beat UWE in Premier League football. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, February 29th, 2016. I am Natasha Beckles. The pay dispute between airport officials and the National Union of Public Workers has been referred to Labour Minister Senator Dr. Esther Byers-Suku. The two parties met with Chief Labour Officer Vincent Burnett for close to 3 hours on Monday before talks apparently broke down. Mr. Burnett then announced that he would be turning the matter over to the Labour Minister. Union officials are adamant that airport workers are owed a 3.5% pay increase, but airport management says that's not the case. The dispute led to a protest last month. As Barbadians continue to grapple with water shortages and rationing, Minister of Commerce Donald Innes says we all have to play our part in managing this scarce resource. Speaking at a St. Philip South constituency meeting on Sunday, Mr. Innes said a combination of drought and an aging pipe network have come together to make the problem worse.
Trinidad, with all of their resources last week, stress the fact that they have to cut back on the use of water in Trinidad and Tobago. They are now experiencing the most severe drought that they've seen for decades. But you know, the media in Barbados won't talk about that. And a person in the countryside in Barbados who don't get water every time they turn on the tap may say, look, I live in St. Joseph, I don't live in Trinidad, I don't live in San Fernando. But the reality about it is that it is a global event. And we have to ask ourselves, what can we do? Can we conserve water more? You know, can we have more efficient plumbing systems? You know, and this is why I talk about people taking responsibility at the individual level. David Essex and the Water Authority will do their best with the resources they have. Minister Essex and his team can change all the pipes around the island at a cost of $150 million that my grandchildren will have to pay back for. But you know what? If the rain ain't falling, there ain't nothing coming through those pipes but air. So that's why I say to Barbadians, those who can afford the devices that help your water system become more efficient, those who can invest in water storage apparatus and whatnot, let us do our little part. Because the little piece that he does and I do and you do will help create a Barbados that we have greater access to water.
The whole of the Caribbean is battling drought conditions, and last weekend, the Barbados Water Authority introduced a series of water conservation measures. Minister of Social Care Steve Blackett says he will look into the case of Vondine Sandiford, a pregnant mother of 6 who is due to be evicted from her rented home. The 47-year-old story appeared in Monday's Daily Nation as she appealed for some form of reprieve from the National Housing Corporation. She owes $5,000 in arrears on a 2-bedroom home. Mr. Blackett said he was not aware of her specific situation, but he would investigate.
Yeah, these set of circumstances which you just outlined is not something that's unfamiliar to the Ministry of Social Care. Certainly we would have come to the rescue of several people who would have found themselves in similar situations. I have not seen it myself. I don't believe my PA did either. But I would look at it when I go back to the office. And if there is anything at all that we can do to bring some alleviation to her particular circumstances, I certainly would. So I'll look at it when I go back and see what the circumstances are.
Mr. Blackett was speaking on the sidelines of a presentation of 2 houses under the Poverty Alleviation and Reduction Program. 90-year-old Rosalie Bailey of Eagle Hall, St. Michael received a brand new home, while Barbara Earl and her 2 children also got a spanking new 3-bedroom house. A teenager who pleaded guilty to growing cannabis in a cemetery has been remanded to prison for 1 week pending sentencing. 19-year-old Elron Adrian Gill of Congo Road, St. Philip, admitted to cultivating cannabis at the Bushy Park Cemetery when he appeared in the District C Magistrates Court on Monday before Acting Chief Magistrate Christopher Birch. Police say Mr. Gill was arrested as a result of a week-long operation after he was seen tending the plants. He was found with the scissors on his person and 301 plants were seized. Mr. Gill was charged with possession of cannabis, possession with intent to supply, trafficking, cultivation, and possession of apparatus. Executive Director of the Barbados Manufacturers Association, Bobby McKay, has donated 3 blood pressure monitors and 3 electric kettles to the nursing department of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. She did so on Friday as she expressed gratitude to those who treated her last year after she suffered a life-threatening aneurysm.
When you came to the hospital, I would think is, for most people, the most scariest thing in the world. And most of my memories, I would say 90% of my memories, have been wonderful in this hospital. Even after coming back for tests and different things, after I was discharged, I would say people that I remembered and feel really well. I felt at home, which is probably not a very good thing to feel at home somewhere like this, but I still do feel at home when I come here.
26 young chefs are vying for the 10 spots on the Barbados culinary team for this year's Taste of the Caribbean competition. Vice President of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Michelle Smith-Mears, said while one of the main objectives is to win gold, the BHTA also wants to develop new talent. She was speaking on Friday at Divi South Winds, where the competitors went through an orientation session. In sport, Weymouth Wales stunned UWI over the weekend to return to their winning ways in Premier League football. Jedi Clark scored 2 second-half goals to knock UWI from the top position in the league. Let's take a look at his goals. BDFSP have moved to the top of the tables with 20 points, 2 more than UWI after a 5-1 thrashing of Empire. Parade and Wales are joint third on 17 points. And finally, authorities in Vermont say an 8-year-old's story about helping a farmer grow special medicine plants led to a big marijuana bust. The boy reportedly told school officials and police that he got to help his mother's boyfriend grow special medicine that can cure anything at all, and that people came to the house frequently. Police say they found 2 grow rooms next to the child's bedroom, and 54-year-old Stephen Mann pleaded not guilty to a felony count of cultivating more than 25 marijuana plants. And that's Nation News for Monday. For more news, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Remember to pick up your Daily Nation on Tuesday or subscribe to our e-paper. Thank you so much for joining us.